Alright, look, I don't want to call myself a compulsive gamer, but I am. I Windows shop far too much because I'm fucking poor. And I mean that seriously. I'm broke. I really shouldn't be putting Astros into the game right now. I really shouldn't. And certainly not for a unit that I'm never, ever, ever going to use. And I mean ever. Last night, or no, yesterday morning, I was at 350,000. No joke, 350,000. Back in January of 2014, I was at 800, borderline 900,000. Because I'm a was a spendthrift. Is that it? No, I'm a frugal spender. Well, not even that. But that's points. That's bullshit. The amount of Astros, as opposed to saying real money all the time, the amount of Astros I put into this game is ridiculous, though. Especially in this case for a unit that I had no I had no desire of getting. None whatsoever. This Cross One here, this is actually a rental. This rental has been sitting here for, God, going on a year maybe, since the Cross One came out. I'm just using it up, so there's, but I never, ever, 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 ever wanted the Skull Heart full cloth, or is it full cloth Skull Heart? I don't care. I never wanted it. Just don't, because it purges into a pure melee mode. So, what the hell would compel me to spend 100 and, well, close to 200,000, because I made some of this back, and I also bought some Astra packages, or I bought those high rollers, so I'm up 25,000, or no, I'm up 50,000 from what it was. I was actually below 200,000. I was not happy about that. What the hell would compel me to spend $40, 40 Astros, or yeah, $40 worth of Astros to get a unit I'm never ever going to use that I know is completely against my playstyle? I think I've got an issue. And considering the fact that I can't wield it properly because of whatever the lag is, whether it's my computer, which is just a shitty office machine, my internet connection, come on, the DSL isn't that bad, I checked it, or personal skill, which absolutely I'll chalk it up to that, sure. But if there's a technical issue in the way, why the hell would I compel myself? What would compel me to spend $40 on something I'm never, ever, ever going to use? There are plenty of units in the back of my hangar. This is what is known as the back of my hangar. There's plenty of stuff here. By the way, I got rid of the GN flag and a couple of these, so I've just got these four here. Like, the Crossbone Custom, okay, I can deal with that. Whatever. It's got some redeeming qualities to it. Again, it's not something I ever wanted. I kind of looked at it and I'm like, not my thing. Also, that $40 got me maybe a half dozen new Gundam, MP new Gundams. Which, you remember how much I bitched and moaned about getting one of these things. Let's see, where are you? You are... Where is it? Oh, I thought it was rare. Okay, so that means it's back here somewhere. Oh, no, here it is. Right there. It cost me $60 to get this one. $60 to get one, and I was actually aiming for it. Now here it is, some random event comes along. It just so happens to be in there. And let's see, how many have I gotten? I've gotten one. I know I've deleted a couple just because I'll never ever use them. I've gotten maybe 6 of these things within $40. So you can imagine how livid $100 to get 7. You can imagine how pissed I am about that. But anyways, I'm not talking about the mass production, and what I'm talking about is the full cloth version. That'll give me 9. And what else? And yes, of course, there were a bunch of units in the middle that I didn't really care about. Let's see, that's 9, and that's 10. And I'm going to leave this here because I'm done with this machine. Now, granted, the reason I lost so many points yesterday is because I thought that said 1,000 points. I rolled it 4 times, and I was like, holy shit, what happened to all my points? Well, it turns out they went here. So I spent 40,000 points to get some stuff I'll never ever use. What I don't even know if I kept any of them. Well, I had the mass production gun cannon. I thought that looked interesting because I'm actually kind of a fan of it, but I didn't keep it because eventually it shows. I think we have a capsule machine already with it in there. Um, and it's ironic. This was a Gadesa, however you say that. I've gotten so many of those things. It's not even funny. Yeah, one, two, three, just right there. 4, 5, 6, 7. I've gotten 7 of them so far, and I think I've got maybe 10 altogether since last night. So I've actually whittled this list down a little bit here. But anyways, I am now the proud owner of a getting through all that and musing out loud what the shit is wrong with me. I am now in possession of an SR that I never wanted. Now, unlike the Arch Gundam, where I spent money and didn't and got something that I really didn't want, this one kind of confuses me. Let's see, how far do I have to go? There you are. Kind of the it. I'm confused by this one because I love the Crossbone Cross 3. That thing is really fun, but this one's kind of on the order of that. Kind of. It's a multi-purpose machine, or kind of, yeah. It's got a scattering beam gun, and then it's got a penetrating borderline long-range weapon. That's actually a good combination. I like that. What bothers me is when it purges. I'm very cautious around purging units, but B, the larger reason, it purges, remember that, into a pure melee unit, which, for those technical reasons I listed earlier, not a good idea with me at all. And no, by the way, it's against my playstyle because I prefer some sort of range. Like, I wish there was a beam rifle, or hell, I'd even take a dumbfire fist punching like the Gundam Maxter does. I'll even take one of those. Maxter transporter, the shield, surf shield board, or shield surfboard, whatever it is. I would rather take one of those. But for whatever reason, I just put $40 into one of these things. I don't know why. Again, not saying it's a bad unit at all. Just doesn't fit my playstyle, and I put $40 into it. I think I've got an issue. I think I have to do something about that. Okay, anyways, to make this thing last as long as possible, I'm probably going to go full defense build. So this, and probably this down here. Because I'm not gonna put the customizing into the full thing there. So and the reason for that is the pure, well, it's pretty much because of the pure melee build. I'm going to do it that way, pure defense build, because I want this thing to last as long as possible. Because as I'm swinging and missing by microns, and people and the lag is making people ghost around me. So to them, it makes them look like I'm swinging in front of them or behind them. To me, it looks like I'm actually hitting them, but in fact, I'm missing them by a mile and a half. And they'll just jump on top of me, use their MCA and their ZBS, and hit the players they have, not the game. As all that bullshit's happening, I want to be able to last as long as possible. Now, of course, this is not a tank, but I can make it last as long as possible. Assuming, of course, that I purge it. That's kind of a thing. You know that already. By the way, why would you need to increase movement speed, dash speed, and agility on a rock? Just saying, so it flies even faster. All weapons, damage on all weapons, okay. Defense, booster recovery rate. That's still a neat skill. I kind of like that. Considering majority of Crossbone Gundams are melee units, that makes sense. Kind of gets lost in there, doesn't it? Oh, he keeps a little bit of the full cloth. It's ironic they call this thing the full cloth because when the Crossbone Gundam made its debut in the comic, whoa! Look at the shoulders. Not only is it on the full cloth system, but it's also on the shoulders themselves. I've never seen a duplicate decal like that. Never. Wow. I've never seen that before. Ever in SDGO. I just noticed that. Wow. Anyways, when the Crossbone Gundam makes its debut in the manga, I've never read the manga, but when it makes its debut, it it's actually wearing a beam coated or a beam resistant cloth. But this version, the more or less the final version of the Crossbone Gundam Cross One, this version has a metal sheath that goes around it. No, that's not a sheath, but it actually has additional armor placed around it, and that looks absolutely badass right there. Much as I dislike how it was equipped in SDGO, I don't dislike the Crossbone Gundams. Just saying. But that looks absolutely badass. It's just okay. I can't remember what point I was trying to get to. Oh, the fists don't change. I thought they would. Actually, that kind of works. This may very well. Oh, and the crossbones also don't change. Okay, so none of those change. All right. So any of the skulls do not change, which is kind of nice. Kind of like that look. It also spares me from using an extra white. How about that? Ironically, this is actually closer to the navy blue scheme that I've wanted than any other unit I think I've ever used, because the navy blue scheme is supposed to have kind of a white stripe going down one side, or very minimal white. Instead, I have to kind of consign it to a bunch of big globs all over the place that are kept in minimal areas. Huh. Wait, I'm doing that wrong. There we go. That's better. Like that. Ava, what do you think of the Ifrit Schneid? Is that how you say it? Dumbfire. Don't care. Dumbfire on a B-ring. Don't care. Whatever. It's got good ammo on weapon too. It just seems to take it seems to take a while to reload weapon too. So whatever. The reason I don't care about this thing is because A, there's already one you can get real easily. Can't think of which one it's called. And B, I already got another one from way back when. Level 1, 0% or EXP, I said HP. In other words, that tells you how much I use the thing. I think I used it once in training mode, and that was it. Just because it's so similar to, everything else I have. It's the same thing as, I almost said 007 swords, that's wrong. It's the same as Exia 7 swords, which is the same as this thing, which, by the way, is pretty much outshined by every single Arios Gundam and every single Curios. So, that's why it's just sitting there. I should probably move that to back my hanger just because I don't know what to do with it. Moving on, anyway. Oh my god. 6 swings to kill a C rank. Wow. Aw, stationary to fire. You ruined it. Aw. Still, it's got a good reload rate. Does it penetrate? I'll bet you it does. Yep, it does. It's got a similar reload rate, but it looks like it has an extra shot to the Cross 3 that I like so much. Gosh, look at that. 3 shots takes it down. Not as far as the weapon 1, but still good. 1 shot in the face. Done. Oh, it's 2 shots with good reload for the type of weapon. Alright, so... Okay, here's the thing I don't get. Why the hell do you have a melee skill on the... Like, you're going to be using melee in the other mode anyways. Why would they put a melee on here? To be fair, it's badass that he uses the chain whips. Oops, that's not what he uses, the chain whips to grab onto the Murasame blaster. That's just badass. I'm sorry. Wrong weapon. Oh, this penetrates as well, I think. Yeah, it does. How about that? Hmm. That's it? Or did I just lag just then? Well, weapon 2's kind of weird. What is this? Is it just a counter melee? I guess? That's weird. Oops, I forgot that was a dash. Boxing gloves with an eye field on them. I kind of like that. Does it mean this has a permanent beam shield around it, I guess? It might be useful, actually. Same thing on the Cross 3, of course. You see, I can understand it having a melee skill in this mode, but why won't it have a melee skill in the... Or, why won't it have a ranged skill or a beam spec in the other mode? By the way, there was a collection of Clan Okami that just so coincidentally ran into each other yesterday, and we kind of decided that we're all getting tired of the beam spec because A, people can actually get out of it under certain lagging, technical circumstances, and B, it doesn't... Okay, am I lagging? What's going on here? And B, or yeah, they can get away from it if they're lagging or if you're lagging or something along those lines. B, if you, they can spec out of it. They can fire their spec at somebody else and get away. Or C, the real frustrating one, somebody else can steal the attack out or can steal the spec out from under you. So if you're firing a beam spec, they fire ranged or melee spec, then they can steal the knockdown away from you. Now, yes, that's good for combination hits, but let's be honest, how often does that happen in SDGO? I mean, really. Wow, that only took 6 hits to get that up, to get my HP or my SP up that high. That's not bad. Even with the mobility up, the help, the speed gives you a little further distance to travel, but the speed was already sufficient on there. I'll bet you they're saving up the long boost duration for the alt mode. I'll bet you. Wait a second, what? Oh! The crossbow kind of spreads out a little bit when it shoots. Wow, that's a lot of boost duration for a rock. Holy crap. Oh, okay. That's why the boost duration is lower in the pre-perch. It's because they put it all in here, I'll bet you. Oh yeah, they right here. Yep, that's what it is. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I wonder if I can go corner to corner on this. You usually can't do that, but I usually don't even test that, but yeah, that's pretty close. It's a heck of a thing, corner to corner. So, again, not a machine I'm going to be using. But, can't argue with the results, certainly. Most of the purging units that I have they're not, they're units I can deal with in both modes. The V2 Buster Also has I think that's a dash attack. I can't remember. In fact, I know it is. Which they changed recently. Um, but anyways, majority of units in my hangar that are purge units, I can kind of deal with it. And they're usually, I can deal with the alt modes because the alt modes are actually damn good. Full armor double zeta, for example. Oops. But this is unusual only because it purges into something that has no ranged weapons whatsoever. If it had Vulcan guns, I probably would have been, more angry about it because it never uses those shoulder cannons. But that being said, this is against my style, but by no means a bad unit at all.